Hello.
Hey,
Hey Lou, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good? Good.
Pretty good.
So I'm Trent, this is Lou, and we are the tarot dealers. Oh, now I'm losing my voice.
We are the tarot dealers. Together, we are the tarot dealers. Had heaps and heaps of life experience
Yeah,
and lots of tarot experience that we bring to the table.
exactly.
So we love to hear from you, to hear what your questions are. If you're wanting to dive deeper into tarot, we definitely can help you with that. We both do different things, uh, different programs and
Yeah,
what have
yeah.
you. But we love what we do. And the purpose of our podcast for today is going to be to have a look at what the year
26
2026 may be
may be
bringing,
bringing.
right? So that's what we're going to do.
Yes, and we're going to do it a little bit differently.
We
We're
are.
not just doing the straight 12 months.
No, we're not. We're not just doing straight 12 months because God knows we would not be same. Let me just see what I don't need in here. No, I think I've got everything that
Got
I
everything?
need. Okay. So what we've decided is that we are going to start with a deck that's called New Vision, based on the Rider-Waite, but it gives us a new vision. And it gives us a new vision because we get to see the card from the opposite side.
Exactly.
So the intention that we're setting around this is what new things, yeah,
What new things do we need to see, isn't it?
yeah, do we need to see what are coming into the energy of 2026? What do we need to be aware of? So we're just having a little look at this first
Yes,
before we dive into the month by month.
exactly.
So what is it that we might need to see differently, look at differently? What
Yeah,
is coming
just,
in
yeah.
terms of that? This is new vision. What would be helpful for us to see differently? Okay, let me see. Here we go. What would be helpful for us to see differently? Okay,
Very interesting. We start off with two pages, don't we?
we do.
Or they call them knaves in here, but it's 2 pages. The first thing that I saw was we will show you, but with these 2 pages and what they're looking at is these buildings, these structures. I know that's cliffs, but it's very much look at the strong structures. So maybe we need to start looking at the strong structures that maybe we have not looked at before.
How we're structuring things,
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's interesting because the January energies themselves, from the collective, were about pentacles.
pentacles. Yes.
And we are
And we're
starting
starting with
with
the
looking at the pentacles in a different way. So looking at our resources in a different way in terms of how we use our resources to set up the structures.
structures.
So resources being used in a new way, exactly
Very
as you
much.
said, yeah. And then the Page of Cups, which is called here the Knave of Chalices, Trent's right,
Yeah.
is he's looking at the rocks and the foreshore, but there's also on the ground, there's the way that he has structured those shells.
Mm.
So I really feel that 2026 is going to be about looking at new structures and new ways of being, because we are certainly leaving behind things that are no longer working, but that yet there's this celebration
Celebration.
piece, right? So I think that's going to be a
Yeah.
good thing. What's your take on that
When
one?
I saw that, what they call it, the 8 of chalices or the 8 of cups, but because it's very double, as soon as I saw that, it's like we're leaving behind all the bells and whistles. We're really just
Yeah,
simplifying things.
simplifying. Yeah, yeah.
It's like we don't need all the flashing lights and the bright lights.
And I
We don't
think
need it.
that's interesting that that talks
Yeah,
about that. And then we move into the Two of Pentacles, and we see this again, like from a different
yeah,
space. So, what is it that we need to maybe consider? And do you want to be a sheep
yeah,
or do you want to fly
exactly.
free? And how you might be doing a little bit of both, a little bit of tasting both of those for the moment.
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
interesting?
really interesting. That's really interesting.
That's very interesting. So the next thing we look
Yeah.
at, so basically looking at way we structure things, leaving
Yeah.
behind bells and whistles and using resources in a new way. And what energy do you want to put into those new
Exactly.
resources? Do you want to be the sheep, or do
Or
we,
we want-
we want to look at it
Yeah.
from above like the crow
Yeah.
and have a look?
No.
So we're now using what is called the before tarot. Right?
Still based on the Rider Waite.
Still based on right away,
But
but
this is before the Rider Waite that we know.
yeah, so this is about, that's the vision. So we've just looked at what things we might need to consider. This will be about potentially the steps we can take about that new vision.
Yeah. I do like the new vision because it gives you a completely different look. It does a completely different picture, that ones that you weren't aware of before. So it does bring in more information.
It does. I really like it.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, so based on those new visions, which are around structure and leaving behind bells and whistles and looking at how we can decide who it is we're choosing to be. Just give me a sec. Just going to back again. Okay, needed to pause that. So looking at what things we might need to, we know what's coming in,
Yeah.
so how do we best work with that? Basically, we have the Wheel of Fortune, because it looks a little different here,
Yeah.
because
It's before.
it's before it all comes together, right? So I think it's going to be about gathering the resources and deciding on the decision of the direction that we're going to head in terms of these new things that are coming in. Still in a space of learning, and still in a space of, we're still between night and day.
Yeah.
So we're still between, to me, it's like between two worlds.
Yes.
Is what I'm getting there. But advised basically to take the new direction,
Yeah.
which includes stopping and smelling the roses.
Very much.
Right.
We've got the Fool here.
So look at that Fool. How different does this Fool look, right? Because he's the before tarot. So this is before we make our way to the cliff. And his little dog is kind of like saying, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's taking time to stop and smell those roses. So I think it's going to be, as the change enters, take your time to make the decision on the direction you're going to take. Because once you do that, I think it's going to be quick.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's then followed by the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords in this deck, you'll see those clouds are all around his head, so that it's not necessarily clear. So I'm going to say we really need to just value a step back and take the time, because this guy's just charging on in.
Charging through.
And it's almost like he's doing it by himself, because all of the people are behind him.
Yeah.
They're behind him, but they're not actually
with him.
Yeah. He's been sent out on his own. So you may feel, or you might need to consider when you feel alone, what's actually happening. And remember, we're going to go back to that whole, am I sheep? Am I doing the same thing, right? So that might be connected with that. Do I want to stay with the rest of the herd, or do I want to go out and do it? Now, it's a sword. So the sword is about how we communicate, right?
Yeah, it's quite literally, I was looking at that, and because the people are sort of standing behind him, it's like, are you the one who's going to take charge? Are you going to gather the supporters?
Oh, there's that too.
Are you going to gather them? But in saying that, maybe you don't have all the information. Maybe you may be charging off half-cocked, and that's why other people are just standing back a little bit.
Yeah, so these are the things to consider, right, as you enter 2026. Because then immediately after that, we have the Knight of Cups, which is that like emotional reward, if you will, where he's being offered the, you could say, to quench his thirst, but he's being offered something after he's rushed out and gone into battle. Notice the birds high in the sky there, right? So I feel like if we really feel into the direction that we want to take. It can happen quickly. Have we gathered the resources? Have we gathered the tribe and the people? Are we clear about what we want to say and how we want to communicate? Because I feel like there will be a lot of signs if we choose to check into them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That does.
And I feel like it'll be pretty clear that we'll be shown which direction to head in and then be rewarded for taking that action and doing that thing.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's exactly. I keep coming back to there's two pages and two nights, and we have two major arcana. So if we just look at two, then
they're together.
And they're together. Yeah. I mean, if we look at their partnerships.
Yeah, true.
It's connections. True. So if we take just that, this coming up year will be more about the partnerships and connections that we need to make.
I think you're spot on there.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on there. Yeah. So that's the before piece, right?
Yes.
Like what we need, what is coming into our awareness, and then what is it we might need to do about that?
Yeah.
So that's that little bit. And now
we'll get into the 12 months. We are going to use the actual rider weight this time for the 12 months.
For the 12 months. So we're looking at January, just quickly. Seriously cannot make this shit up because we both had in our January readings the Three of Pentacles, and it's here again. And mine was focused on Pentacles and Tren's was focused on Cups. And guess what we've got?
Yep, we have Cups and Pentacles.
We do. So I do feel like it move through January with intention.
Yeah.
I feel it's very much moved with intention to have a look at, because it's like we're building on the year, right? As we do every year, but it just happens to start in January. It's like starting there to build on that year about what we find resourceful and how we use our resources, but bringing in that community to do so, bring others in, share the resources, what I'm feeling for January. Definitely a big thing on resources again. And the swords, we end with the swords, which is the 8 of Swords here. So a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. So we might, don't be blinded by the things that you hear or see in terms of, social media, in terms of internet, in terms of that. Bring it back to how it actually makes you feel. Because
we can tie ourselves up in knots in what we are being told.
Absolutely.
And take on board, but we need to come back and go, no, how does that feel? Does that information feel right? Because looking at that, because we start with the 10 of Pentacles, so it's like, are we going back through the generations? Are we calling on the generational wisdom to move forward? And with going from the 10 to the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, are we sharing our wisdom from the generations, leading into the 3 of Pentacles, which is very much, that community, that getting together. But it keeps coming back to the 8 of Swords, where we need to really be discerning and not tying ourselves up in knots over other people's agendas.
Absolutely. I would agree with that. Generations too, like ushering in a new generation too, right? Is the other thing. But how is this new space, this new time, this new era, how are we going to work with that? And not to take on all the other stuff or get confused by it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so January seems to be around that.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at February. Go from one fucking extreme to the other.
Don't we?
All right. February looks like we're being asked to look at take our picture a little wider. Like what's next, really to feel into what is coming next, to allow that light to shine and show us where is it that we need to rebuild and restart, right? What specific areas are we going to be working on? And again, on getting resources.
Yeah. Even though we end with Pentacles, but it's like, wands, knights, knives. Were they swords?
Well, that can be knives too. Yeah, swords.
But yeah, it really is. It's like we're in a planning stage. We are shining light on things, but then when we come into the Ten of Swords, it's like, are we going to fall down and go, oh, it's all too hard?
Yeah, keep
We
it,
all too
watch
hard.
that, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I would hope that we could look at that space and go, we are so over all the shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's the swords interfering, so the internet, what you're being told,
Yeah.
all of that shit. Having had enough of that, and going, okay, so we need to reinvent, we need to get up now.
Yeah.
We need to get up, we need to create a new day. What does that look like? Because there has been a lot of disconnection. So we want to reconnect,
Yeah,
right? But again,
definitely.
I'm getting fucking resources.
Well, yeah, because Lou's getting it from the Five of Pentacles.
Mm.
And you know in the Rider Waite, there's this, feeling like out in the cold, you're on your own. But is that a choice? Is that a choice?
Yeah, true. Everything
It's
comes
a
down to
choice,
choice, doesn't it?
You can be on your own, or you can actually look for the resources that you have or that are at your fingertips and put them to use. So we're looking at March now. So it's funny. Before we were talking about the two twos, now we've got two sevens.
Oh, we do too.
Side by side, we have the Seven of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Come back to that Pentacles, the resources again.
Yeah, yeah,
It really
definitely. So there might be a need for us to push back on bullshit.
is.
So, March seems to be, yeah, no, I'm not going to be
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Boundary setting around what the expectation is for you to do. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and that can be your
Yeah.
own boundaries where you go, you know what, I'm not going to do that
No.
anymore. I'm not going to run myself ragged anymore. Or it might be, you
Well,
know what, no, that's out of my line of scope. I'm no longer
it could
doing
be
that.
that choice of being, I'm not going to be a sheep. I'm just not going to follow
Absolutely, I'm not going to
blindly.
be a sheep, not
Yeah.
follow blindly,
Yeah.
right? So
I'm going to
yes.
fly.
There's definitely that.
Yeah.
And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which again is where we're looking at the resources.
Yeah.
Now, I feel that from a bigger picture perspective, that we'll be looking at like one issue at a time, but being confused by all of the issues.
Everything else.
So focus just on the
On what's, it's like, instead of they put something in front of you, but don't look over here. No. Look, this is a shiny thing. We want you to take your attention here.
It does that really well. Yeah. Don't look at me, look at me. Yeah.
It's like, no. Look at the whole big picture because you're only seeing one thing. Yes, you have to focus on this one thing, but look at the whole big picture.
Yeah, and understand you've got the resources to do this too, right? Is what it's talking about.
Yeah.
Then we move into the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is about like beliefs and structures. So all of this is going to be like, we're definitely going to be looking at that, the beliefs, the structures, the traditions, and the norms. So potentially creating our own and creating our new. Then we have the Emperor. So to me, the Emperor can represent government. So in here, it'll be like there may be some new structure consideration in terms of what's going on in government. So that's around March.
Yep, I think so. March is going to be a bit powerful, I think, with those two major arcana side by side, the Hierophant and the Emperor. And it could also be that I often think with the Hierophant, we are breaking tradition. We are breaking things that are just old-fashioned.
I think there is a bit of that. I think people's faith is going to be tested, and tested against the system.
Yes.
Right, is kind of like, because they're like right here.
Yeah.
But also you can be supported by the system, right? Again, this depends on what your lens is on that, right?
Yeah.
Remembering that we may not be given all of the information just yet.
Yeah.
So as we move into April, it's like we need to get the information. Not everything may be working exactly the way it needs to. And to understand, I feel that whilst there may be this frustration around the things we are doing, to understand that it's that we're doing that is going to matter, because that shows very much success, doesn't it?
Yeah, we start off with the Five of Wands and then we go into the Nine of Pentacles.
Big jump.
Yeah, so it's a really big jump. So you might have too many people trying to put their fingers in too many pies and nobody's working together.
Yeah, they're not effective.
They're
not effective.
So it's like,
to be effective.
When you start working together, you will see the success. You will see the success. Yeah, and then we've got the Queen of Swords straight. So that's where somebody comes along and says, "This is why we're doing it. Stop your shit. Get on board."
So April, there seems to be
Yeah.
some decisions made
Yeah.
that is going to lead us into the new way
Yeah.
for some reason. And it's funny because astrologically, that's the beginning of the new
beginning,
year,
isn't
right?
it? That's where Aries is, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is what this is talking about, and we're getting that from the Wheel of Fortune because that's the roll on into the new thing,
Yeah.
right? The new day, the new way of being. A little bit of karma attached to this sometimes. Can be a little bit groundhoggy day, but can also be we don't have all the answers just yet because this is new. So it's a card of I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and I think
Yeah.
that's, but I'm getting the word transparency. So I'm feeling like there
Yeah.
just may be a little bit more transparency than we've had previously.
I'm going to take a photo of the first couple of months and put that up. If the
Okay.
phone will work.
What?
It's
Not
not, deciding
working.
it's not working. Shut that and we'll try again. Now we're right.
What's going
I don't know
on?
what's going on with bloody technology.
Bloody
Tell ya.
technology, all right. We didn't take a photo of these ones.
Oh no, we didn't.
That's all right.
Yeah,
We'll do it
we'll
at
do
the
that
end.
later.
Yeah.
So we'll pack these up and we'll go into April, May. We'll go into May, start from May. See what May has to bring.
Okay, May's looking pretty cool. And Tren is right because it'll be very much focused on relationships and partnerships because we have the Lovers card. But the card that starts this journey through May is the Knight of Pentacles. So we've had a few knights show. So the Knight of Pentacles here being we're dealing with factual things, right? So remember we left April in being we may not have all the information, but we know there's a little bit more truth and we're looking at new direction. This is saying stick to the facts.
Yeah.
Stick to the facts. Connect with those that you love, connect with new partnerships, what opportunities are there for you to work with, networking, be with people, that kind of thing. That's going to be the way forward, I think, from May on, because we have the 9 of Cups, which is like the hopes and dreams, and all of the hard work that you've done is behind you. That's what I would say. And that's then followed by the Ace of Cups, which is that gift, that offering.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like May might be
the turning point.
The turning point, right?
I mean, 2026 looks like it's really going to be an emotional and resourceful year, doesn't it? Because everything we have done has been really heavy on the cups and pentacles.
Yeah, and again,
we've got the pentacles
we've
again.
got what, May, June.
June.
So we're looking mid-year, and there's been some restriction placed on us, around us, which we know there's all kinds of restriction. There's your social media restrictions. There's the what you can say out in the world restrictions. There's the where can I go? What can I do? Fucking shit. So all of that, and that which I get from the devil.
The devil.
Right. So all that unhealthiness is saying push through that.
Yeah.
The 10 is like, don't give up now, just push through because the reward is worth it. Again, it's a financial thing. So whatever's happening from a resource point of view, it's okay.
It's okay. It'll work out.
It more than work out. That's the card of Scorpio, right? Which is Scorpio will fucking pull everything apart so that you start new relationships, new jobs, new diets, new homes, new everything. We can expect new. What can we expect it around? Resources. And how we use them.
I think it's going to be a complete shake-up, isn't it? We are not going to be doing the things we've done this year, next year. It's going to be completely different.
It's like, we're not going back there.
We're not going back. Yeah.
July.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus. Wow. July has 3 major cards, so pretty big month.
Pretty big month is July.
Yeah, so July is, we have Temperance, the Magician, and the Moon. So Temperance being about like the lessons we've learned, the going with the flow, the understanding of the subconscious and the conscious piece. It's patience.
Patience, moderation,
fucking patience and moderation. Yeah. The Magician says you've got everything you need. You can do what you want. Don't be manipulated, because July might see a month of manipulation. And why I say that is because we have the Magician followed by the Moon.
Yeah.
Now the Moon can be illusion, right? And that may also be telling us to be aware of the moon cycles in July. what's the moon in July,
just be aware of where the moon is and what planets are around as well, because all of this does affect our emotion. Again, comes back to that emotional side, doesn't it?
Absolutely does. And that there may be the manipulation around the past,
Past.
where we're going to try and manipulate what happened there, or we're going to try and bring back what happened there. So that seems to be in July. And why I say that is we have the Six of Cups, which can represent the past or nostalgia, can also represent children, right?
Yeah.
But either way, I feel where I'm getting the manipulation. So I'll see if I can share all of these. So Temperance can give us messages, right? Very much give us messages, which we've got to pay attention to, because the Magician is talking about this way. The Magician is talking about, in this sense, the manipulation, because that's followed by the moon, right? So he can be a master manipulator. And in this sense, I really feel like there is manipulation about the past. That's what I'm getting for that. Does that make sense?
Just be aware that they may try and change the narrative, even though we've lived through it and we know what it was. There may be a push to change the story.
So something like that.
Yeah.
And that can be in your own personal story. That can be bigger page. We're just saying that potentially this is what the energies of August may bring. August, what are we? September.
Interesting. Coming from July, it's almost like we really are just settling back and really finding our feet, aren't we? We start off with the Five of Swords, so we basically are cutting through the bullshit that we were told.
We are, and we're picking and choosing our battles, aren't we?
Yeah.
Picking and choosing what we want to take on, what we don't.
Yeah, because we follow that with the Two of Pentacles, so that's where you get the up and down. Not so much the up and down, it's more like Lou said, the picking and choosing. How can we use this? How can we use this information? We've got the resources, how can we use it? Maybe we cut through some of the shit that we don't need, that frees up some more resources.
That's true too.
That's true because we've got, and it followed by the Ace of Swords. So all of that freeing up, new resources gives us new ideas of how to use the resources. Followed by the Six of Swords. So we're definitely moving out of quite a stressful, horrible situation, taking the lessons with us.
We are taking lessons with us. And I feel like that month, September, isn't it? It might be around internet or technology. There may be some change and some new ideas that we start to see in that space now, where we're moving away from how we once did things into a new way of being. For me, the Five is definitely picking and choosing your battles, and as Tren said before, but I feel also that in this sense it can indicate that it might be August, I beg your pardon, September might see it being a bit prickly. It might see a conflict. Okay, might be a bit of a conflicting month. And if you think about new ways of communicating and stuff, or internet technology, it's going to be like that.
And especially coming from August, which was that, we may be manipulated into a certain way, then we stand our ground and stand up and go, no, we're cutting through all that. We're picking and choosing what we want, what feels right for us. So it is going to be a bit prickly because we're trying to find our own way through it, aren't we?
I think so.
So I'll take a photo of this so you can see what the next 4 months are going to bring. Yep. Yep.
Got that?
Got that.
Excellent. So September, we're October. Oh, look at that. Okay. What I love about this little exercise is that we're able to see some themes from doing it for January, aren't we? We're like, there's some themes coming here. So October might be a little bit fiery. We might have some new, might be tasked with some new things to do. Good growth, okay, is what I feel this is going to be about. We have the Knight of Swords. Now, we had the Knight of Swords in the beginning where we were
Yeah.
talking about what do we need to be aware
Yeah,
of
exactly.
as
Yeah.
So that potentially is going to come in
Later in the year,
later in
October.
the year, yeah, because we're followed by the Fool, and we've had the
Yeah,
Fool a few
we
times. So
have.
definitely new beginnings. And what is interesting about this little house here is we start with a wand and we end with a wand. So it's going to be about what we do in October,
Yeah.
what we do that's new, that is going to matter.
Because it's really, if we look at October, we've got the Ace of Wands. Yes, we've got this Knight of Swords, we've got the Fool and the Page of Wands. So if we're just looking at that on it, that's 3 cards representing new beginnings.
Absolutely. What to do about it.
How to go about it.
How to go about it, which is take the new action, do
Yeah.
the new thing you haven't done before. And the Fool is very much, just take the new journey, just relax and go.
Off you go. I'm just going to fly off this cliff. I'm not falling, I'm flying.
What about it? Yeah, exactly. So November.
What is Buzz Lightyear say? Oh, it's falling with style or something.
Falling with style. I like that. Okay.
It's funny, we seem to be going up and down.
Which
it was a theme, wasn't
was
it?
a theme in the personal reading for January.
It really is, because in October we've got so many new beginnings. And then November, have we missed a month?
No, because we had August, September,
September,
October, November.
Okay, yeah. We're really looking at November's really sort of swordy in cups. And it's very, when I say that, it's very much, you've got your two of swords, your 7 of swords, and you've got your 8 of cups. So it's those cards that can represent depressingness.
It absolutely can do.
Yeah.
I'm actually seeing that as people trusting their intuition in terms of leaving situations.
Okay.
So I feel like they'll hold on to what they need, and I think that that'll be the struggle, that people will be like, I really wanted to do this. I really thought it would work.
Yeah.
I really wanted to stay with that. But the realization that either side of, so I'm looking at the 4 of Pence, which is where we're trying to hold on to a situation. But what's either side of that is the 7 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. Both of those things are about leaving a situation. Right? The feeling of betrayal, but knowing that you need to leave. So or taking what's rightfully yours, leaving quietly. So I feel like there'll be some decision made, which is your 2 here, which tells you to trust your instinct. And also that you may feel a bit torn about which direction to go. So come back to your instinct. But I really feel people will be making decisions on what it is they're going to leave behind and go, you know what, I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be part of that. I don't like the way that was as much as I'd like to stay holding on to certain things. I know that I need to leave now. So I feel like where we've seen people leave relationships and jobs, and a lot of that has happened in 25. Like a lot. I feel like this is going to be around just different things where people are like, you know what? No. Not tolerating it. And I'm going to head off in a new direction. And people are now, like the 8 of Cups is very much about, like, he's the minor version of the Hermit. So it's like, I'm going to go away and integrate or embed what it is I've learned about myself in this situation.
We had the 8 of Cups in the new vision, which was like, what do we need to see?
Yeah, and we saw the fireworks on the other side of that. So it's leaving the bells and whistles behind. Remember, Tren said that.
Yeah.
So I think that's
November's going to be interesting.
December.
It's funny.
Look at this.
We start October with wands and we end with December with wands.
Yeah.
We really do.
Unbelievable. So I feel like people will come December, we're like, okay, I'm fucking tired, which is typical, right? Not telling you anything new, which is the 9 here, and the overthinking. So change and understanding that we've fought many battles throughout the year.
Yes.
The strength being having compassion, and I feel like the compassion is extended beyond the self. I feel like the last couple of years have been about us learning about ourselves and being self-compassionate, and I feel like now it's kind of moving back to the compassion of others and community, but not necessarily
to the detriment of ourselves.
like it was,
Yeah.
and not where we felt we had to consider everybody else.
Yeah.
This is not about that.
Yeah.
I feel that that's, you know, okay, what's gone on here. And then that, hang on a second. Me, just shut my little dog up. He's growling a lot. Yeah, so I feel that, yeah, having the compassion for others, but not from the sense of, oh, poor people, more from the sense of it feels like it's a real together thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the end of the year, we'll be assessing what emotions were helpful and what weren't helpful. But knowing that there's this new building, I feel like I feel like 26 is a lot of building stuff, a lot of like, okay, let's trial it, let's pull back, that didn't work, okay, let's look at something else. But yeah, definitely this new direction. That's insane.
It really is.
What are you getting?
It almost feels like the December. It's like coming from November where we're walking away, we're deciding that we're not going to put up with what we have done. In December, it's like we really have to put our boundaries up and make them strong. Even though our boundaries have always been strong, I think it's really like we are now starting to really trust ourselves and trust our boundaries and believe in ourselves. And I think that's kind of the strength as well.
I like that. Believe in ourselves.
Believe in ourselves. And with the 5 of Cups, it's very much, I know it's not a reflective card, but in this case, I think we're reflecting where we've come from.
I do too.
It's really, and we have come a long way. Even in this last 12 months, we have come a long way. And with the 8 of Wands ending the year, it's like we can actually see, even though our direction has been very, very clear from the start, this seems to be the direction when we thought we were going at the start of the year has just widened.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. I think it's a lot more wide.
It's a lot more wide.
Definitely. And I think we're going to like see the growth. I think we're going to see the steps, which steps to take too. I think that's going to become a lot clearer. So what we're doing now is we're using what's called the After Tarot. And this is going to be that way, After Tarot, where I'm going to look at what did 2026 give us as lessons, and collectively, how have we landed at the end of 2026? So it's after, right?
Oh, interesting. Oh, ends lovely.
Does end lovely. So I'll give my interpretation and then we'll see what Tren's interpretation is. So I feel like 2026 has taught us to come together. Yes, we've been taught that before, but I feel like this is more close and personal.
More embodying that together.
More embodying that, and the celebration of who we are as a people, right, is what I'm feeling there. That's followed by the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like this is where we're sharing resource again. We started all about resource. I feel there will definitely be something about resource and how that's being shared or distributed, right? So what's happening with the electricity, what's happening with the finance, what's happening with the food, right? I feel like there's change in the resource, but we are now doing more of that. I think we're going to be taught to be more passionate. See them too there, like on the ground there. Yep. So the Devil here, the chains are free. We're not necessarily bonded anymore. It's like by choice, and being passionate. Now, the Devil also can speak into Capricorn, so it may be the time of Capricorn next year before we actually
see the results of all of the efforts.
See the results of that, absolutely. And we end with the 10 of Cups, which is always like the beautiful family card, right? So it's like here where they are coming together. They got the fire around. There's also an additional person here because on the
right away.
Well, on the Ten of Cup cards
Yeah.
on the right away. Yeah, there's 4 people standing there
Yeah.
because there's 2 adults, 2 children. There's 5 in this.
That could
So-
come. That could come from that passion.
well, that could come from that passion too, right? So yeah, into the next generation, right? So potentially we
Yeah,
are
we are.
absolutely come the end of 2026 heading into a brand new
Yeah.
generation, you could say,
Okay, yeah.
but also that community, that coming together, that sharing of resource, that new face. I'm actually drawn to
Yeah.
the star here, which is the star of Sirius, right? Which is the brightest star in our galaxy, which then says, what's the wider galaxy, the bigger galaxies, right? So I think there's the coming together of families, which can extend beyond where we actually are. You can pick up what I'm putting down, is what I'm kind of sensing about that.
So I'm looking at this, I think, because we start with the three of cups. I know they're coming together, like Lou said, and we are celebrating that coming together, but I think it's also celebrating our resources.
Yeah,
like that whole year, the whole year of 2026 is really finding different ways of developing resources. So I think it's really that harvest is going to be bigger than what we think. And we are, with that Knight of Pentacles, we are no longer hoarding, we are sharing.
Yeah.
We're sharing. And with the devil there, and when that came out, it sort of went, oh, hell, it's the devil. But I think it really is, yes, we're going to be passionate, but looking at it, the same fears are always going to be there, but we're finding ways of putting them behind us.
Love that. Love that interpretation. Yeah.
They're always going to be there. We're just finding different ways of moving through it or putting them behind it.
And I think we're seeing behind the masks and the illusions,
Yeah.
right? Because like when we look at this, you can see on there, but there's these masks behind there and like the illusion of these little creatures that are there. So
yeah, maybe quite literally,
Gee.
maybe we are seeing things for exactly what they are. Like Lou said, the mask have come off. So yeah, the illusion has dropped. We don't have to try and see around stories that have been told. We're seeing straightforward now. And with the Ten of Cups there, it's like Lou said, it's happy families, but that can be the families we create.
Correct.
The community we create.
Absolutely.
It does not have to be the families that we give birth to, or it's like the families that we create, friendships, the partnerships, everything, the community that we are involved in or we create. It's like
I think that's a really great take. Yeah. So the year of 2026 looks pretty big. Lots of change, maybe a bit of push, pull, stop, start. The changes intentionally around or potentially around finances, resources, monies, internet, technology. That seems to be where that is, which will lead us into a new direction.
Very much. And I think looking at this, it's also going to lead us into something that's less fearful. We are going to be less fearful.
Yeah, I really love that take. Yeah, I really, really love that take. So we hope you enjoyed that.
Yes, we'll see how 2026 evolves over the years.
We will.
So but I do think it's going to be a huge year, a big change that's coming through that we have been waiting for a long time.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. So from our heart to yours, we will catch you next episode. Big love.